Welcome back. I got some special for you guys today, and I'm gonna start playing it right now because this may take a while. It won't take very long, but it'll take a while. What you see on my now, I guess technically be right, is a bit of a testimony to what practice and consistent practice results every day. Now, if you guys are following me on social media, you guys might know me more as an emo guy, more as a person who does branding for, streamers, logo design, motion design, things like that. But over the past couple years, I have taken it upon myself to learn something new that kind of not just pick up a new skill, but do things that I find would be very interesting to me as a skill. Because as we all grew up, we all watch cartoons, try to draw our favorite cartoons. I'm older now, so I was trying to draw Ninja Turtles and He-Man, and trying my best to draw a Transformer, and then giving up because I couldn't draw a box straight. But with the time I've invested, and I'm gonna say it's not a lot of time. I am not spending 6 hours a day practicing these skills. What you see on my, guess right? I don't know, left or right. The video's up. Put it my left or my right. But what you guys see is a culmination of practice over the past year. This is 1 year practice on my right, left, whatever, right. And the reason I put this together, this 1 year compilation, is I want you guys to just take in what it feels like to draw every single day. And previous to this, I'd only been drawing characters for about 1 year previous to this. So this is about 2 years of cumulative work. And this isn't like 6 hours a day. I took 30 minutes to 1 hour almost every day to practice sketching before I did my actual work, which my actual work is the business I run. If you guys do something from YouTube, I run a design business where I do emotes, motion design, logos, stingers, stuff for Twitch streamers, YouTubers, so that kind of stuff. Character design is more or less just my fun time. But I actually have done a little bit of design work for. Now this is where it gets interesting. Even though I'm a designer by trade, these little forays into illustration actually netted me a job as a this will be a kind of an on board, or a freelancer for gamer subs for their waifu cups. Now, if you guys know waifu cups, it's a brand of cup designs that is put out by gamer subs or GG subs, where they saw my illustration work I was just learning, and they brought me on to do a number of designs. This is where the passion meets the road. I have never actively looked to do commission work of characters because this is more or less my venting time. This is how I more or less not burn myself out on doing things that become extraordinarily repetitive in the design space. If you've stopped by my stream, you've seen me rant and rave about drawing Pepe emotes, or just doing the same kind of emote ideas over and over and over again, because after you've made 5,000, the challenge really isn't there anymore. The desire to get good really isn't there anymore. And the only reason that can happen is you need to stretch your wings technically, as a designer, as an artist, as a creative. You need to move yourself past your comfort zone, and doing these were very uncomfortable, and the discomfort led to great personal reward. And what I mean reward is, if anybody's ever played Elden Ring or any of the Souls games, the difficulty level can be very daunting, and there's no sliding scale to make it easier. But once you defeat a would-be opponent, it gives you a huge boost of confidence and dopamine and all those good things. The same with illustration, or any new skill you pick up. I moved into this because I just needed something else to do, and I do enjoy drawing beautiful women, which also spun into the gamer sub stuff. But I feel like when we're on the social platforms that we're on, you just see the finished product. And if you're not staring at somebody every day to see what they do, you can only assume that they came to social media, or they came out the womb drawing the best illustrations you've ever seen. When in fact, if you've looked at any of the sketches over here, some of them just don't turn out well. But I kept everything I did in. This is about 60 or so small 30-second videos where I remember turning time lapse on. So this is 60 videos or so spread across 12 months. So was that like 5 videos a month? 5 times 10? Yeah, about 5 videos a month. And I definitely want to share this with you. And I've been saving up to share this with you, just to show you that making mistakes is part of the process. Making a mess is part of the process. As an illustrator, I'm still leveling up my illustration game, but as an would-be illustrator, you can't move into this space or in the space of any kind of technical work and expect perfection on day one. Messy, like I tell most people, embrace the messy, or fail fast and fail often. Once you've learned to fail fast, you can learn from your mistakes. Some mistakes take longer to get over because you can, ignore your weak points, like I did. And we're people. I'm actively, trying to fix my weak points, as a creative, as somebody who was in the space, learning illustration. But then one day it might click for you. Not everything's gonna click for you in one day, but one small thing's gonna click for you. Structure's gonna click for you, and this translates to all sorts of design. Like if you're making a typeface, if you're working in typography. One day you're trying to move an A next to a C, or an A next to an uppercase letter that you're creating from scratch, and it's just going to feel like a nightmare. It never feels like it's going to work out right. It's important to know that when you're doing things like that, when you're moving into new zones, into new areas, new territory creatively, you have to fail, and you have to be bad at what you do. It is not the terrible things that define us. It is not the poor pieces of work we create that define us. It is the things that we learn along the way when we make our mistakes that will define us ultimately in our field of practice or choice, whatsoever. When I was learning martial arts, some things just would not click, and I would hurt myself, or I would allow myself to be hurt because I wasn't paying attention I wasn't grasping the concept that I was being taught. Once you grasp the concept and you've bumped your head a few times, you will know that once you've moved into that left zone and they're throwing a right punch, you should probably not be in that area anymore. That's the kind of learning, that kind of feedback that happens with illustration. That comes with illustration, any kind of technical pursuit, 3D, you can name it. It's all the same in terms of like learning. But when you see your mistakes in post, like I take my art, and I'll look at the video, and I'm like, well, why did I make the torso like this, or why did I do X, Y, and Z? And I start sketching again. I can feel myself making a very similar mistake. That is where you will learn, inevitably, by analyzing your mistakes, where you should go next. Because I'm not sure if you guys ever heard this saying before. The definition of insanity is making the same choice over and over and over again and expecting a different outcome. If you are making the same mistake that you are recognizing, sometimes it takes a person outside to recognize the mistake you may or may not be making. If you're making the same mistake over and over and over again, and you're trying to do the exact same thing to fix that problem, this is going to be the point of it's going to be a make or break point in whether you develop more seriously in your field. This goes for say being an illustrator, being technically sound at 3D, making games, but I also wanted to show this to let you know that I was not putting all my time into this as a creative, as a person who likes to do this. This is an hour a day, maybe 30 minutes to an hour every day. Some days I can get in maybe 2 hours, depending on my workload, to practice a skill that I felt that I would like to have and develop, and successfully doing so to an extent. Now, this is not perfection. I don't believe perfection is this. I do believe I can get much better and better, and the level of skill I'd like to attain is way higher than this. But going back 1 year to my first piece that I recorded till today, I can look at those and feel extraordinarily more fulfilled knowing where I started at. When you're working on something, and when you have your nose to the grindstone every day, looking at your designs, looking at your illustrations, looking at them, from point A to point B, it's like watching a shadow move outside. If you were to stand next to a tree and watch the sun move across the sky and look at the shadow, if you're sitting there for an hour, you won't notice that the shadow moved very much, even though it has. At high noon, all the shadow's going to do is move maybe a few millimeters or centimeters. I'm not a scientist. Don't look it up. I don't want anybody in the YouTube comments getting all feisty. But I did want to share this with you. When you need this, when you need that boost of confidence, and you've been doing this for like a few months, save all your sketches, look back, crank that book back open to day one, and see where the genesis of your skill developed from. This is going to help you ultimately, I believe, strive forward and become much more confident in the things we produce as creatives, as illustrators, as designers, as people in the motion design world, as people who are 3D artists. And you'll be better off for it. With that being said, hope you guys enjoy the little compilation. It took a lot longer to put together than I thought it would. But just take your time and put in that constant effort every day, and you will reap the results through focused practice and breaking down the things that you love to do. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the time lapse. I believe this is like the end of it, so I think I had my timing pretty good. But I will see you guys next Monday. please join the Patreon. We got a monthly tutorial, a monthly workshop going on. Our next one will be the last Saturday of every month. We will see each other next Monday. Today I got a packing stream. The Patreon's been updated with the latest NSFW piece. We are working on Tiny Tina's Wonderland emotes this week, so those will be up on Patreon. And I believe I'll have some time very soon to start recording our next 2 courses. So, you guys have a great Monday. Keep fighting a good fight. Pick up a King's Coast coffee from King's Coast. You can pick up my blend of coffee called Conquer. This isn't the logo, but it is called Conquer, because that's me. You can wake up and choose violence as well with a cup of coffee. Use code Conquer at checkout. Check out my website, conartist.org. I got stuff there for sale. Perhaps many more things for sale once I learn to screen print. And I will see you next Monday. So, till then, keep fighting a good fight.